current work, do you believe that teaching is still a good path for many educators? And what do you think needs to change to make this space more sustainable?
So it depends on what your definition of educator and teacher is. Because if you wake up in the morning and your passion is to help people and you love to mentor and to coach and to train, there are so many ways to do that that aren't a classroom setting.
Right.
It's just not. There's a lot. You can get into sales training and sales enablement, which is the path I took. There's corporate trainings, there's compliance trainings, there's HR. I mean, there are, thousands of different job titles in corporate America that all lead back to training. It's just who are you training and what is the content that you're given, whether it's algebra or a third grade reading program or a compliance training, it's all the same. And I find inspiration in helping people. And so if I help a sales rep be better in training, that means that's a bonus for them. That's commission, that's shoes for the kiddos, that's a vacation. And so I have found motivation in that. I think if you're a young professional, if you're early in your career or even late, or if you're in college, you really should consider what will my life be like if I take on classroom public education in elementary or secondary setting. And sadly, like my answer, Tim, like highest level is no. I don't think it's sustainable. And I think that's why we're seeing a mass exodus of teachers. There are teachers that don't speak up. They're afraid. They get their classrooms taken from them. They get the subject they've been teaching for 4 years taken from them. They're then put in kind of an adult hostile environment. Also, then on top of it, dealing with the stresses of the job. And so I don't think it's really becoming a sustainable practice for people who love education and teaching. I think that they need to think of other things that they can do, and there are options out there. It's scary for me to say because I love teaching. I am an advocate for teachers. I wish it was better, but it's not. And I was actually talking with a couple folks that are helping me with this book. I was like, they're like, well, how do we fix this? Like they're reading my book and they're like, Ashley, like, you're right. My kid's teacher is miserable. And I'm like, I know. And that's why I wrote the book. I want to help them. But how do we fix it? And I said, the more I think on this, I think we need to flip it. We've got the model wrong. Instead of taking a 22-year-old right out of college and giving them the students to teach when they have no experience and they're struggling, like my boss that I work for today is a whiz with revenue operations. He is one of the sharpest people I've ever worked for. That's who I want teaching my kid business. That's who I want teaching my kid personal finance. And I think of, some of these professionals I've met that are in the law profession. That's who I want teaching government and civics. That's who I want teaching social studies. And so I think that if we're looking for a solution, I don't think it's bad to think, maybe everybody should go into the workforce. And if teaching and inspiring children's your passion, maybe you flip it and you do that later in life. And you do that for the last 10 years of your career. When you're more mature, you can handle the pressures and stresses. Teachers probably respect you more because you're of their age instead of being 22 and feeling like they can take advantage of you. And so I don't exactly know how to fix it. I know the governments probably play a large role and need to change there. But we could probably rethink the model. But back to the original question, if you're very young, I don't know that that's the field that you pursue if you think that you are an educator and you are a teacher, because there are other options.